ओम अखंडम सच्चिदानंदम अवांग मनसगोचरम आत्मानम अखिलाधारम आश्रये भीष्ट सिद्धये. We have been studying here Sadananda Yati's Vedanta Sar, which is the best primer on Vedanta and presented to us in the form of definitions, connected definitions, and through those definitions he is telling us Vedanta itself, that he has told in the beginning, that because it is a prakarana of Vedanta itself, it requires no additional anubandhas. And then he started telling that the Guru teaches the disciple through Adhyaropa Apadanya. And we have seen that the traditionals take this Adhyaropa Apada according to the 4th and 5th shlokas of the 9th chapter of the Gita. That is, we have to superimpose this world on God. We have to see this world as created by God, as preserved by God, as will be destroyed by God. So, and then when we see God through this world, then we should see that God is the reality, world is not there. That they call apada, adharopana path. But we have seen that what my Guruji taught me, what is according to Shri Ramakrishna's statement of neti neti and iti iti. First, we have to learn about the transcendent reality, and then that very reality is immanent, all-pervading, all-permeating. The whole world is the appearance of that reality. This we have to learn. So, Adharop means to understand that the world has been superimposed on God. So, instead of world, we shall see the God behind. And then once we are conscious of the God behind, we should see that that God which we call behind and beyond is itself appearing in the form of this world. That will be apavad. And so we will meet the criteria of neti neti iti iti, or the reality best described as transcendent immanent reality, sarvatita sarvavapi, sarvatita sarvagata, nirguna saguna, will be fully realized. And this is also supported by the Bhagavad Gita shloka, that when one dissolves all into one, and when that he sees that that one itself is appears as many, then only he realizes Brahman. Yada bhuta prithak bhavam ekatvam anupashyati tata evacha vistaram brahma sampadate tada. This is the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So, that we are following. And Sadananda Iti started describing the Adharopa, which means that we have to understand that the whole world is nothing but a superimposition on Brahman. And this starts by telling that Ajnana is the first thing which is superimposed. And we have seen that this Ajnana means wrong knowledge. And we have also seen that he has given the quotation of Devatma Shakti in relation to this Ajnana. So instead of calling it Maya Shakti, he calls that also as Ajnana. And so Ajnana means individual wrong knowledge. Ajnana means God's Maya Shakti of appearing as many, which deludes us. So that is also called Ajnana. And then from that, he starts telling. We could understand all that on the last occasion only because we use that Devatma Shakti to show that Brahman itself appears as this world in stages. That happens in stages. So the first we saw Idam Adgyanam, we go back to 35. Samashti Veshti Abhiprayena Ekam Anekam Iti Cha Vyavariyate. Vyavariyate, that means in Vyavahara, our Vyavahara and God's Vyavahara we see this Ajnana as related to one individual or as related to individuals. And that is called Vyashti. And this Ajnana or there was Maya Shakti is in relation to the Samashti, the totality, and we also seen that totality has something special which is not there in the total, simply total of the individuals. And we explained this by the example of a big hall, a conical roof, and the focus light there, and the partitions not rising to that roof. And each room, each cabin has no light except mirrors. And sufficient light gets reflected. And samashti means that space, vacant space above, or the whole hall where partitions are absent. And we saw this through the supreme example of Sarda Devi, how her mind had no walls, social problems, religious truths, all she could comprehend from any country. And so, Vyavariyate, that is how it is applied in the in our daily conduct. Tathai, yatha vrukshanam, he gives example, vrukshanam samashti abhiprayana vanamiti एकत्व व्यपदेशो यथा वा जलानां समष्टि अभिप्रायेण जलाशयेति तथा नानात्वेन प्रतिभासमानानां जीवगत अज्ञानानां समष्टि अभिप्रायेण तद एकत्व व्यपदेश अजामेकां लोहित कृष्ण कृष्णाम इत्यादि श्रुते है. In the example also about the samashti has given the example of one apparently one goat having black, red, and white colors, giving rise to the her children of the same type. Actually, one Maya Shakti having the Trigunas, which he has already described in the Maya Shakti, giving birth to all the individuals. So, Vyashtigata Adnan, that means the wrong knowledge belonging to the individuals and the wrong knowledge. It is not wrong knowledge in the case of God. This appearance of God as many through that Maya Shakti, they are as we think he has described. And we took another example for that. A drop in the ocean, if he thinks it is the drop, it will be a drop. And if he feels that he is the ocean, nobody can object to it, nobody can obstruct it. So this is called Abhipraya, the reference to which you are making. If you are making reference to yourself, you are Vyashti. If you are making a reference to the entire world, including yourself, then it is Samashti. Iyam Samashti Utkrishta Upaditaya Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana. And Sattva is of two types. Sattva means existence, the quality of existence. God's existence is Samashti Sattva, and that is Vishuddha Sattva, that is the pure Sattva. That means no place practically for Rajoguna and Tamogun, and that is the Samashti Upadhi. Upadhi we understood, not reality, but appearing as real. So the Samashti Upadhi, that means God's surroundings, God's limiting adjuncts, apparent limiting adjuncts, that is how the Upadhi is generally translated, are pure because it consists of Sattva Guna. This Sattva Guna is not our Sattva Guna, this is actually Trigunatit, but Sattva Guna Pradhan because the absence of Rajoguna and Tamoguna there. Etad upaitam chaitanyam sarvajnatva sarveshwaratva sarvaniyantritvaadi gunakam avyaktam antaryami jagat karanam ishvara iti cha vyapadishyate sakala ajnana avavasakatvat yas sarvagya sarvavit iti shrute. And that Chaitanya, which is on which this samashti has been superimposed, if we can look at that Chaitanya, bereft of the samashti upadhi, which is always pure, He is the Sarvajna, Sarvashaktiman, the Lord of all, controller of all. All these and this type of qualifications or characteristics belong to him. Avyaktam, not seen. Antaryami, the innermost reality of all. Jagat Karanam, Srishti Sthiti Pralaykarta of the world. Ishvara, the Lord of the world. Iticha Vyapadishyate, that is how it is called, because it reveals all the adnanas. That means sakala. Sakala means whole, not a part. The whole Ajnana, whole world, whole Maya Shakti is revealed by God. God knows the entire universe. God knows the individuals. The example quotation given is Sarvajna, Sarvavid. That also we saw. Knows everything in general, knows all the particulars also. Because we meet after 1 week, I have to revise everything. Otherwise, we will not get connected. ईश्वरस्य इयं समष्टि अखिल कारणत्वात् कारणशरीरम् आनंद प्रचुरत्वात् कोशवद आच्छादकत्वाच्च आनंदमय कोश सर्वोपरमत्वात् सुषुप्ति अतएव स्थूल सूक्ष्म प्रपंच लय स्थानम इति च उच्यते. So various names for this ईश्वरस्य समष्टि. We first thought of samashti, then we thought of Ishvara through that samashti, and now we are thinking of the samashti through Ishvara. So Ishvara samashti, Upadhi, is the cause of the whole world. Devatma Shakti is the cause of the whole world. So it is called the causal body. Body means Ishvara's personality, which is the cause of the entire world, is called the causal body. Ananda Prachuratvat, it has plenty of joy, because Brahman is bliss in itself. So the Ishvara Vidya Upadhi, Vishuddha Sattva Upadhi, has tremendous joy, but it is a covering for Brahman. So Koshavad Achadakatvat cha Anandamaya Kosha. So the other name given to it is Anandamaya Kosha, heath of bliss. Sarva Paramatvat, and because Sushupti, because Indriyas and mind are Vyakta or Sukshma world is not functioning there, so it is called Sula Sukshma Prapancha Laya Sushupti. It is called the state of deep sleep. Ishvara state is called the state of deep sleep because the Brahman is not revealed in full, so it is called deep sleep because no particulars exist there, so it is called deep sleep. And Sula Sukshma Prapanchalaya Snanam. What has happened to the gross world and the subtle world? They all merge in it. So it is called these names. Uchyate. Yatha vanasya veshtya viprayena vruksha iti anekatva vipadesho yatha va jalashayasya veshtya viprayena jalaniti तथा अज्ञानस्य वेष्ट्य विप्रायेण तद अनेकत्व उपदेश इंद्रो माया विपुरूपयेते इत्यादि श्रुते. Same example uses that the forest, when we looked at individuals, it's called trees. When the lake is seen as individuals, we call it drops. So this very Ishvara's Maya Shakti, when we looked at how we are deluded, how the individuals have the wrong knowledge, then it is seen as many. And for that, the Rigveda quotation he has given that Indra has various ways of appearing as this world. Indra here is supreme reality. Atara, Vyasta Samasta Vyapitvena Vyashti Samashtita Vyapadesha. So again it tells that both Samashti and Vashti is described. They are called Vashti and Samashti because they relate to individuals and because they relate to totality. Iyam Vashti Nikrushta Upaditaya Malina Sattva Pradhana. When we think of individual, then my body, my mind, this my becomes the wall. And so it is Malina Sattva, the individualized existence, which contains necessarily Rajogun and Tamogun. Because individual cannot be an individual unless it has some specification. And that specification is called as Rajogun. And when the specification becomes too much, it becomes opaque. So it is called Tamogun. And that is Nikrushta Upadhi. These limiting agents are of very low order. And so it has that type of sattva. Etad upaitam chaitanyam alpadnyatvadi anishwaratva alpadnyatva anishwaratwadi gunakam pradniti uchyate eka jnana avasakatvat. So it reveals only the individual wrong knowledge. This Chaitanya as seen through this individual upadhis, it knows very little and it has no capacity like God. And so its name is Pragya. Pragya here is constituted as Pra-agya, Prakarshena Agya. So the wrong knowledge itself is the predominant thing here. So it is called Pragya. Iti uchyate. Because very little it reveals. Asya pragyatvam aspashta upaditaya anati prakashakatvat. Another explanation for that pragyatva is that the upadhi, the limiting agents itself is not very clear. We cannot define my body. We cannot define my mind. It is unclear, hazy things. Anati prakashakatvat. And very little world is revealed to us. Only what we see around us, what we see, think, feel around us. And so it is Prakarshena Agya, mainly ignorant. That is what we read up to last day. Now we come to the new topic. Asya api iyam ahankara di karanatvat, karana shariram, ananda prachuratvat, कोशवद आच्छादकत्वाच्च आनंदमय कोशा सर्वपरमत्वात् सुषुप्ति अतएव स्थूल सूक्ष्म शरीर प्रपंच लय स्थानम इति च उच्यते. When we compare with God's upadhis, you can understand that this, in the state of deep sleep, it can be understood. It is the Karana Sharir, the Asya api iyam. Asya means Chetan, iyam means Upadhi. So this Upadhi, Ahankaradi Karanatva, is the cause of Ahankar and other things. Ahankar gives rise to all the other things of what we call myself or I, mind, body, etc., etc. So it is the cause of Ahankar and other things. We compare, then we understand. Ishwarasya samashti akhila karanatva. It is the cause of the entire world. Well, in our case, our upadhi is the cause of ahankar. So it is called karana sharir. In our case also, the karana sharir means the personality, causal personality, causal body, because it has caused ahankar and all everything. So it is called causal body. Ananda prachuratvat. In deep sleep, we understand we are filled with joy. So there, lot of joy is there. Koshavadachadakatvat. But our real nature is not revealed there. It is like a sheath. So it is called Anandamaya Kosha. This is similar to God's Maya Shakti. Sarva Paramatvat. Whatever is I and my gets dissolved there. Sushupti, because Indriyas are not working, mind is not working, so it is called deep sleep. And so, gross body, subtle body, Sharira Prapancha, gross body, subtle body, and perceived world, Gross body, subtle body, and perceived world has disappeared there. So it is called the Laya Sthana. So, very clear. Now I proceed. तदानीम् एतौ ईश्वर प्राज्ञौ चैतन्य प्रदीप्ताभिर् अतिसूक्ष्मभिर् अज्ञान वृत्तिभिर् आनन्दम् अनुभवतः आनन्दभोग चेतोमुख प्राज्ञा इति श्रुते सुखमाम् अस्वाप्सं न किंचिद अवेदिशमिति उत्थितस्य परामर्श उपपत्तेश्च. Tadanim means in that state when Ishvara is Ishvara. Superimposition of Maya Shakti has come. Superimposition of Ajnana has come. So it's called Ishvara, he is called Pragya. Chaitanya Pradipta Vir, Ati Sukshma Vir Ajnana Vritti. This Ajnana is as a function. This Ajnana becomes a wave. And so it is called Ajnana Vritti. No, it is not a gross wave as we see in the waking state or in the express world. It is not a subtle state which we see in the dream or in the Hiranyagarbha or the subtle state of the entire universe, but very subtle vritti, not of our vani, not of the mind, but Ajnana itself, because Ajnana is there and because duality is there. So, Ati Sukshma Vritti. Ati Sukshma Vritti is neither gross nor subtle, but very subtle Vritti of Ajnana, of the wrong knowledge, of the Ishvara's Maya Shakti. But it is always, because it is very, very deep inside, it is always illumined by the Chaitanya behind it. God's Brahma Chaitanya is always shining in Ishvara. Our Chaitanya is always shining in this deep sleep state. And the experience is joy, Prachanda, tremendous joy. God is always bliss, and we in deep sleep are filled with bliss. There is no happiness in the world superior to the happiness of deep sleep. So, that is what is our experience. And what is the mouth? What is the subject of this experience? Or what is the instrument through which we experience this? In the waking state, we experience through Indriyas. In the dream state, we experience through the mind. Here, Indriyas and mind are not functioning, but I is there. I consciousness is there in God or in Jiva. And that is called Cheto, Cheto Mukha. The I consciousness itself is the mouth to eat this Ananda, Ananda book. It is not the Vishaya Sukha, it is not the mental happiness, it is only the Ananda which is the reflection of our own real nature that is experienced by I consciousness. In Ishvara also, I consciousness, I am the creator, and that experiences supreme bliss. In Jiva, I am Jiva. What I am, I do not know. I am a man or woman, I do not know. I am an engineer or doctor, I do not know. But I am there, and I am enjoying the bliss which is reflected. Iti Shrute. Now, this is Shruti. The second pramana is the logic based upon our experience. Paramarsha upapatte. What happens in deep sleep? We cannot tell in deep sleep. But vyuthitasya paramarsha. When the man in deep sleep has awakened, then what is the memory he carries? Well, experience only results in memory. So we are making analytical logic based upon the memory which comes after waking up. And what is that? Sukhamam aswapsyam. I slept happily. Na kinchit avedisham. I knew nothing. I knew nothing. That means ajnana. I slept happily. That means I was there, the experience of happiness was there, otherwise memory would not have come. I knew because the consciousness was reflecting, but there was no object to experience. Because the mind and indriyas create the objects that being absent, the objects were not there, there was nothing to experience. So this is the memory which comes to us after we wake up from deep sleep. And by analyzing it, we find Paramarsha means the talk of the man who has awakened, Upapattecha. From that we logically, rationally draw this conclusion that I was experiencing bliss. I was there, consciousness was there, bliss was there, nothing else was there. Anayo samashti veshtayor vanavrukshayor jalashay jalayor va abheda. Now he says these two, the Prajna and the Ishwar. If we are not particular in deep sleep, if we are not particularized individuals in deep sleep, what we are? We have become one with the universal reality at that time. But because of the ajnana, we do not know it. And so when we wake up, we can get our own individuality. In God's case, the whole world has gone. God alone exists. I exist, God knows. I know nothing, there is nothing. I have not yet created. And he is always happy. He is not functioning. So he is also in deep sleep. He is aware only of his own bliss. So he says they are identical. When we analyze them through their real nature, we find they are identical. We are no more an individual in deep sleep. God has not yet created the world when he is the Jagat Karan, God. And so they are Aveda, non-different. No difference is found there. So every night when we go to sleep, it is described in another scriptures like that, as if we are embracing God and sleeping. But because of the Ajnana not gone, so we wake up when the Indriyas and mind, here it has started describing from that side, superimposition. So from this side we understand, when we wake up in Indriyas and mind, then again the Ajnana functions. So what is the difference between them? No difference. एतद् उपहितयोर ईश्वर प्राज्ञयोरपि वनवृक्षावच्छिन्न आकाशयोरिव जलाशय जलगत प्रतिबिंब आकाशयोरिव वा अभेदा एष सर्वेश्वर इत्यादि श्रुते. Now think of the Chaitanya covered by these two upadhis. The Chaitanya is called Ishvara there. Here the Chaitanya is called Pragya. And when we think of the Chaitanya, then again the example of forest and trees or the Jala Bindus and Jalashay, that there he has added. He is not giving the example of forest, that is Upadhi. But this space in which the forest is included and the space in which the trees are included, they are not different now. So this example will make it clear, not logic. That the space in which the forest is included and the space in which the trees are included is same. The space reflected in a Jalashay is the same as the space reflected in the different parts of the Jalashay. And so that is equivalent to the Upahita Chaitanya. So there is no fundamental difference between Ishvara and Prajna in their real nature. I think sufficiently clear. And this he quotes by Mandukya Upanishad 6th mantra, Esha Sarveshvara. That means there what happened, the Jiva in Mandukya when it is referred to, have to understand. The Jiva has shed its individuality in the first step. It has shed the grossness in the second step. It has shed the variety in the third step. And now it has reached this state. So there he has become one with Ishvara. And that Ishvara is also called Prajna from our point, one who has reached there. And then in its real nature, that is the same as Ishvara. Now here, let me tell you some misunderstanding carried by many of my Vedanti friends. A Jiva reaching that state and Ishvara, Brahman appearing as that, they are different concepts, please. Please do not confuse. I become universal, I become Virat by becoming one with Virat. I am still there. I become one with Hiranyagarbha, I am there. I become one with Ishvara, I am there. This I has still ignorance. But when Brahman appears as Ishvara, he has no ignorance. Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana. When Brahman appears as Hiranyagarbha, no ignorance, because he is Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana. Brahman appears as the Virata, there is no ignorance. These must be made clear. Otherwise, while reading the Upanishads, especially Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, first chapter, fourth section, the Hiranyagarbha is described having fear, this and that, and then quickly he gets it resolved. That is the Jiva who has reached Hiranyagarbha state. And because Hiranyagarbha state he has reached, he can quickly come out of it. But Brahman appearing as Ishvara, Brahman appearing as Hiranyagarbha, they are the readings of Brahman from our mind. Brahman appearing as Virat, he has no ignorance. He is not in any bondage. When we reach that state by spiritual evolution, we become one with that, and I am one with that. This I is still there. And that is why the ignorance still persists. I am telling this by the way, because when the point comes, we should not confuse. So he says, fundamentally there is no difference. In the Veshti and Samashti, like the forest and the trees, like the Jalasha and the Jalabindus, and in the consciousness on which this is superimposed. Example he gives, space which includes forest, the space which encloses the trees, and the space which reflects in a Jalasha, space which reflects in Jalabindus, they are not different. No. Now the next sentence will reveal so many things. Vana vruksha tad avachinna akashayo Jalashaya Jala Tadgata Pratibimba Akashayo Akashayor Va Adharabhuta Anupahita Akashavat Anayor Ajnana Tadupahita Chaitanyayor Adharabhutam Yad Anupahitam Chaitanyam Tat Turiyamiti Uchate Shivam Advaitam Chaturtham Mandante. इत्यादि श्रुतेः. Here the thing will become clear. The purpose of telling this Adhyaropa is that it is superimposed. We don't have to superimpose. He is telling up to this point that what is the support, what is the base of both the Chaitanya and the Upadhis. What is the support of both the Chaitanya and the Upadhis is the Anupahita Chaitanya. That means Chaitanya on which there are no Upadhis. Chaitanya on which there are no Upadhis. That is the base of both Chaitanya with Upadhis and of the Upadhis themselves. Brahman itself is the base of Ishvara. Brahman itself is the base of this world. And same is the case in the individual. Brahman itself is appearing as this prajna. Brahman itself is appearing as my body, mind and everything. Is this not this understanding that all this is only superficial on Brahman? It is very clear in this sentence that Sadandaiti is pointing out why. Another question is, why he is describing superimposition? His only purpose he has already told us. Jiva Brahmaikam Shuddha Chaitanyam Prameyam Tatreva Vedantanam Tatparyat. We have to realize that the Jiva and Brahman are not different. It is a pure Chaitanya only. So, he has brought the word Turiya here. Turiya means fourth. Fourth, comparative fourth. Because we are in waking, dream and sleep state. So, which is common to all the three states, which is not these three states, is called the fourth. And he has given that Mandukya. Evam Advaitam Chaturtham Manyante Sa Atma Sa Vidneya. So that is called the fourth, Manyante. We have to call it fourth because it is not a state. But compared to these three, it is different. It is common in all the three, but different from all the three. So it is called fourth, and that is the real nature of Atman. That is the real nature of Brahman. And so there is no difference there. And the name given to it is Turiya. The purpose in telling all these superimpositions is that all this is a play of Maya or our wrong knowledge from one side. From the other side, there is nothing but Brahman, whether cosmic or individual. So at this point he says, remember that this is what is the base of this superimposition. What is the base of reality on which world is superimposed and what is the base of superimposition itself. What is the base of individuality being superimposed and what is the individuality which is superimposed. The base of all these things is the Anupahita Chaitanya, that Chaitanya on which nothing has been superimposed. The Chaitanya by itself, and that is called Turiya. So, the reality of all these things is only Brahman, whether individual or cosmic, whether Jiva or Ishvara. The reality is the same Brahman. That is reminding us that they don't flow, don't get caught in the description. What happens is philosophers cause a lot of trouble. And I have heard from many Vedantis, Brahman is another, Ishwar is another, Hiranyagarbha is another. How can there be so many realities? And so, one reality is being described in different names. That we should never forget. And so, That is called Turiya. Whether it is the appearance of Jiva, whether it is the appearance of God, whether individual or samashti, what is the base of the consciousness? What is the base of that thing which is superimposed on consciousness? What is that reality which appears as all this? What is the reality which appears as Ishvara? What is the reality which appears as Jiva? What is the reality which has the cosmic appearance as cosmic world? What is the reality of this body and mind? It is the only one reality. Because it's the reality is one without a second. The reality is one without a second. And so that is on which all this superimposition has taken place. He has introduced one more topic which he will describe much later on. Idameva turiyam shuddha chaitanyam ajnanadita ajnanadi ajnanadi tad upahita chaitanyabhyam tapta ayapindavat aviviktam san महावाक्यस्य वाच्यम विविक्तम सत लक्ष्यम इति च उच्यते. He has introduced another topic called Mahavakya. Mahavakya means one sentence which reveals the identity. That is called Mahavakya. Here also so many things have to be told. Mahavakyas are not limited into this number 4. And when I was telling about Viveka Chudamani, I showed you a shloka there, Mahavakya Shate, no, hundreds of Mahavakyas. So it is a very wrong concept. Please drive it out from your mind. Because the Vedas are 4, so there are 4 Mahavakyas. Because Shankar told to cultivate one Mahavakya in the 4 Pithas, so there are 4 Mahavakyas. Mahavakya Shate, no. The definition of Mahavakya is one sentence which reveals the identity. Because in the Upanishads, so many arguments, so many examples, so many steps of learning, and then we give a conclusive sentence. It is also called a Siddhanta Vakya. And that reveals the identity. Now, if you take Vedas, Shukla Yajurveda is completely different from Krishna Yajurveda, though both are called Yajurveda. So Veda is itself to become 5. We'll have to find at least one more Mahavakya. And who says one Veda can have only one Mahavakya? One Veda can have several Mahavakyas. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad has several Mahavakyas. And so the word Mahavakya has come. So I am telling that please do not limit. Drive out from your mind that the Mahavakyas are only 4, that we have to cultivate only one of them. This is another misunderstanding in the Ramakrishna mission. I will tell a little history of it, then you will understand. Thakur Sri Ramakrishna gave sannyas symbolically to the chosen disciples. Later on, they took the vow of sannyas when they were together in Kanpur. After that, Swami Abhedananda was traveling here and there. And he went to a mutt on a hill near Gaya. There he was amongst the people of Puri Sampradaya attached to the Sringeri mutt. Shankaracharya created 4 mattas. He created several mattas, you know. There are several Upapithas in India. 4 main mattas for the religious organization. And he himself lived in the 5th matta in Kanchi. So he gave them to culture. So Sringeri Matta was given to his disciple, and the instruction to him was that you can specially culture this Aham Brahmasmi Mahavakya. You are the protector of this Mahavakya. Now that called Matamnaya, that Avedan Swamiji copied from that particular mat. The whole sannyasa mantra, along with that Matamnaya. When he came back, he told Swami Vivekananda, it is better we take sannyas again formally through these mantras. I have found them. Swami Vivekananda was very happy about it. And they took sannyas in front of Sri Ramakrishna's photo according to that rituals. So that Matamnaya came to be our Matamnaya. How? I asked how. Another thing is that when we mix with the Sadhu Samaj and they were to register our name, they do not understand this modern concept. So we may have to tell we belong to the Puri. How we belong to Puri? Totapuri gave sannyas to Sri Ramakrishna. In Avatar, all the old traditions merge and new traditions start. You know how Sister Nivedita used to sign her name? Nivedita of Ramakrishna Vivekananda. We all belong to the Ramakrishna Sampradaya, who do not require a Puri with us. Some of our sadhus even joke. When they ask, are you Puri? They say, we are neither Puri nor Kachodi. So please remember these things, broaden your mind. Some people like to be orthodox. They write Puri, fine, there is no harm. We can, in Sadhu Samaj, we have to declare ourselves as Puri. Just like in society, we have to tell our father's name and our Gotra. In the Sadhu Samaj, you have to tell your Guru's name and out of Dashanami Sampradaya, which Sampradaya you are. We belong to Ramakrishna Sampradaya. And we should not limit ourselves to one Matamnaya. Because the mantras were copied from that Matamnaya, has it become ours? Anyway, I am telling this. Especially it hurts me when people limit things. Vedanta cannot be counted. Counting is the Sankhya's business. We cannot count 4 Mahavakyas. We take Sarvam Kharvidam Brahma as a Mahavakya or not, and that is not included in the 4. Pragyanam Brahma we take from Aitara Upanishad because only one from Rigveda. What about Pragyanam Anandam Brahma, Vigyanam Anandam Brahma from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma from Taittiriya Upanishad. So, neither this I explained during Vivek Chudamani. And there I had said that day, that is in comes to Vedanta Sara, I will explain again. So now he has said Mahavakya, so that reference has come. Now the topic here, let me come back to the topic now. This was aside but important thing. Idameva turiyam, this turiya, this turiya, this very turiya, Shuddha Chaitanyam. It is what? It is pure consciousness. Pure does not mean it has been purified. It is unmixed consciousness, consciousness itself. You can add, please. It is Satchit Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. But the Jnana is specially referred to the consciousness. So it is the Shuddha Chaitanya, Ajnanadi, Tad Upaita Chaitanyabhyam. Now, other 2 things he has described. One is Ajnana, whether individual Ajnana or Devatma Shakti. And then We have thought of the Chaitanya as on which superimposition of Adnan has been done. Tad Upaita Chaitanya. So we have three things before us. The Chaitanya itself, the Adnana, and Chaitanya on which Adnana has been superimposed. These three things. Idameva Turiyam, Shuddha Chaitanyam, Adnanadi, Tad Upaita Chaitanyabhyam. Saptaya Pindavat, Aviviktam Sat. We take an iron bar and heat it in fire. Now it has become as good as fire, but it is not fire. It is not fire. It is not heat. The appearance of heat is due to its being heated in a fire. Mahavakyasya Vakyam. Mahavakya here is reference to Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi is the Mahavakya which he refers here. Now, Tattvamasi has got a, here again let me tell you what is Vachya and what is Lakshya. I am repeating what I told during Vivek Chudamani. Vachya should not be translated as a direct meaning. Lakshya should not be translated as indirect meaning. Vachya means literal meaning. Lakshya means indicated meaning. Real meaning or indicated meaning. And Vachya means literal meaning. Tattvamasi, what is the literal meaning? You are God. What is God? God is Upaita Chaitanya. What are you? Upaita Chaitanya, individual. So that is not the reality. But if we take the literal meaning of Tattvamasi, which is wrong, which is not the real meaning, which is not the indicated meaning, it becomes like you are God in the mixed state, where Shuddha Chaitanya, Upaita Chaitanya, and Upadhi of God, Shuddha Chaitanya, Upaita Chaitanya, and Upadhi of individual, they appear to be same, but they are not at all same. They cannot be same. They are contradictory. So that is called the literal meaning of Tattvamasi. If we take Tattvamasi literally, that thou art. That thou art. The meaning is that you are God, or God you are. And which is not the meaning intended by the Rishi who tells this Tattvamasi. What is the intended meaning? Viviktam Sat Laksham Iti Cha Uchyate. If we can distinguish these three clearly, the Anupaita Chaitanya, Shuddha Chaitanya, the Upaita Chaitanya, the Chaitanya on which superimposition has been taken place, and the superimposition itself. If we can separate these three, and in the cosmic sense and in the individual sense, now what is available to us? Shuddha Chaitanya. And in Shuddha Chaitanya, the question of cosmic or individual does not remain. They are only upadhis. And so, that is the meaning conveyed by the Rishi. This is by the way, on the way, Sadananda is telling this. So his topic is superimposition, but to impose on our mind that why I am talking this is that reality is one without a second. All are appearances. And if you mix up reality into appearances, then you will be confused. But if you can discriminate them, if you can separate them, which I had told in the beginning, Brahma eva vastu, Ajnanadi Sakala Jada Samo avastu. So if this separation, discrimination is done, then you get the real meaning of Tattvamasi. The real meaning of Tattvamasi is that in your real nature, you are the same Shuddha Chaitanya, which is the real nature of God. In your real nature, you are the same Chaitanya, which is the real nature of God. But in today's Upadhi state, to say I am God is foolishness. When I means mix up of Upadhis, when I means an individual, then how can I be Brahman? So there is another mistake carried by the Vedanta is I am Brahman. Vedanta teaches I am Brahman. Vedanta teaches that in your real nature you are Brahman. And today you are not Brahman. Today your consciousness, don't call yourself Brahman. That becomes a terrible, devilish, diabolic philosophy. So all this becomes clear when we study Sadananda Iti carefully. I hope I have cleared many points today. Next time, as usual, I will revise again all these points, perhaps not from the beginning, but from today's talk. Today, you have understood that real nature is one without a second. The upadhis are different. The Upahita Chaitanya is different. Don't mix up. That is the literal meaning. That is not the real meaning. The intended meaning is the real meaning, and that is that in our real nature, there is no difference between the individual and the cosmic. It is only pure consciousness. With that, I close the today's talk, and we'll, though the subject was abstract, but I have gone as per Sadananda has told, and we can revise it again on the next turn. Now the things will happen like this, because once a week we talk, and we forget on 6 days. So, for the connection, we have to revise. Half of my class will go in the revision, half in new points. That is how it will happen. Let us go slowly, there is no harm. We go over the topic again and again. Om Akhandam Satchidanandam Avang Manasa Gocharam Atmanam Akhiladharam Ashraye Bhishta Siddhaye Om Shanti 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 Hare Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanam.